Hey guys, and welcome to my video review of Transformers Generations Voyager Class Roadbuster. Yes, this is a Roadbuster figure. Oh my god, that makes me so excited. Roadbuster. It's fantastic, this figure. I'm so happy that Hasbro finally gave us a Roadbuster figure. An official Roadbuster is, like, besides the Fall of Cybertron one, which was, compared to this guy, a piece of crap. This guy, let's just take a moment of silence and pay our respect to the amazingness that is Roadbuster. Okay, yes, that was good. Very nice, very nice. But on to the review. Roadbuster, like I said, fantastic, great figure. It's pretty much an armored car. It just calls it like an armored vehicle or whatever in the instructions. It's Roadbuster. It's a big, bulky car. Though not too big. He is a Voyager, obviously, so he scales okay in vehicle mode with deluxes such as the IDW Bumblebee. But something I would have liked is in some incarnations of Roadbuster, he's a big guy. I'd be really interested to see either a third party or even an official like leader class or maybe just an ultra class size Roadbuster. That would be pretty awesome. Though the official one is unlikely, and Fan Project came out with their version of Roadbuster, but even still, I think it's unlikely to get one that's much bigger than a Voyager, but I would like to see it, because sometimes Roadbuster is just massive, and I'd like to see an even bigger Roadbuster. But beggars can't be choosers. Getting an official Roadbuster, and this is a really good Roadbuster figure at that, I cannot complain. So in his armored car vehicle mode, he has lots of weapons, as you can see, which is great for Roadbuster. Should have plenty of weapons on this wrecker. He's got this little missile launcher, which I will show. Yeah, you can see it there. A little silver inside, green and brown. Cool. Set that off to the back. He's got this little pistol that just pegs in, and you know, it's just your regular pistol. Got a peg hole there. It's kind of the but what's the word? Hexagonal shape. That's the hexagonal peg hole there for a 5mm peg. This one is kind of like a small hand cannon or shoulder cannon, and it has this little rotating bit there, so you can angle it. That's more so for the robot mode, which we'll get to. And this one also has the little rotating bit. It's got a little bit. It's got green and brown, and then it fires the missile. And the missile has a little bit of detailing, but then again, nothing fantastic, which is fine. This guy, as you'll notice here, like with a lot of the weapons, is very simple. It's like all one color, all green, with a little bit of brown here and there. Pretty much all of the brown on this figure is painted on. None of it is molded plastic. And he has a lot of stickers, like this one here, which says, no handhold, which I think is pretty funny. But yeah, the only molded plastic is this orange here, and then all of the green. This orange and the rest of the brown, for the most part, is all painted on. So yeah, you can see there. And then there is some instances of painted on green, like right there, that's painted on. But overall, it's mostly painted on orange, like back here, and brown. So that's a little unfortunate because that does lead to some chipping of the paint. Like there are a couple spots here and there. It's nothing major or too bothersome, but on some figures I'm sure it will be. Like this guy, it's barely noticeable. But I am definitely certain that there are some versions of Roadbuster out there just sitting on the shelf with about, 20 paint chips all over that just make him look a little bit less cool. But yeah. Vehicle mode rolls, obviously, it rolls very well. It has nice big tires that spin all on their own very well. As you saw a little bit ago, you can see his head under there, as well as his fist right there. But from the sides, the back, and everything, I mean, he's solid. He's a solid-looking armored vehicle. I guess it's an armored truck. It is Roadbuster, I guess you'd call him a truck. And also, a lot of stickers. Anything that's a decal of any sort is a sticker. The Autobot logo is a sticker. That's a sticker, 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 that's a sticker. Oh wait, sorry, that's not a sticker, that's molded in. That's a sticker, that's a sticker, that's a sticker, that's a sticker. And I think that about covers the vehicle mode stickers. There are more in robot mode. But yeah, he has a lot of stickers. They're all solid figures though, and they all have the transparent, they're all printed on transparent little sticker backs, and they're adhesive, and they're good. They're good. Like the Autobot logo, it looks like it's painted on like that, doesn't it? I mean, even to the naked eye, just looking at it like this, it seems painted on. So that's really good. So the stickers, though I'm not a huge fan of stickers, much like chrome on anything that's not a G1 figure, this guy is one of the few instances where it's actually done alright. So yeah, a little bit more silver paint apps there, some decent detailing molded into this guy, but nothing too spectacular. But then again, it is a good figure despite those things. So let's go ahead and jump into the transformation. I just really want to show this guy off now. First thing you want to do is just unpeg this back, pretty much the whole back half. Pegs in pretty tightly right there. You can see the tab there. It just tabs in really tight on mine at least. So you do that, and then you just flip it down. You just flip, and mine also has tight knee joints right there. So sometimes that flipping down part can be a bit tricky. Then you take these, you rotate them outwards and then upwards. Those will become his big flat feet. There you go, just straighten his legs up a bit. Get them all pretty for the camera. Separate the legs, and there you go. His legs are pretty straightforward there. That's all you gotta do. So let me get him to stand up. Let me adjust the camera. Alright. And then here in his arms, all you have to do is unpeg them. They peg it in a couple places. There's like a little slot and a little tab, as well as the peg hole there and the peg there on the arm. So you just pull those down and out, and then you will just do the simple thing, which is pull these up. You pull them out and up. There's a little bit of hollow area right there that those brown bits rotate out from. So just like that, and you bring his arms up, and then you rotate them down, just like so. And then you untab the lower arm from the upper arm, another tab there. This guy does tab together very well, which is really nice, because as of late, the quality control from Hasbro hasn't been that great. But this guy seems to be pretty solid in terms of design and then quality control with the tabs. I haven't had any tabs on mine that seem too tight or too thin, more importantly. And then right here, all you do is you fold these inwards like this. You just fold right down flush like that, and then you rotate this down. There's a tab hole there and a tab there. Tab it right in, and there you go. There's Roadbuster in his fancy schmancy, delightfully awesome robot mode. Yes, very nice looking. And here in his robot mode, you remember all these accessories from earlier? Well, now we're going to put them on him, and there's lots of variations you can do, but there are a few things that I am very particular on doing, such as, well, for one, the option you have is there's this scope that can kind of just slide onto the top there, but it doesn't stay on very firmly. What I much prefer doing is putting this in right there. So you take that little blaster, or scope in this case, and you put it on the pistol. That's what I like to do. And then, like on his box art, I think it looks best right here. At least in my opinion, there on his shoulder. You can see it there. In fact, let me angle up so you can focus a bit better on his upper body for this part. Move in a little bit. There we go. Okay. And then you have this gun that I just leave it as is, and I put that in his hand, because I don't think this kind of weapon looks good as like a shoulder gun. It seems more like a rifle, and I don't really see the point in a shoulder-mounted rifle. It's more something you would see him hold. And then a couple more options with these swivel ones. I like the smaller one on his shoulder, because the bigger one kind of just sticks out a lot, and I don't know. It just looks a little obtrusive, obstructive, obtrusive, whatever the word. Maybe both those words work there. I forget. It's late at night. It's like 1 a.m. Anyways, words, grammar. So you put the bigger missile launcher one in his hand, the smaller one up on his shoulder. And then I take the little missile pod thing right here, and you either put on the left or right one. If you put on the left one, I don't really like the way that it seems to hang a little oddly. It's because it's like on the lower, oop, fell off, but it's on the lower half of his shoulder, and it just looks a bit off. I'd much rather have it sticking up off the upper half of the shoulder. I just kind of like the way that looks a bit more. So yeah, there you go. There he has all of his weapons mounted and held, and now he's armed to the teeth, which I love, because Roadbuster's a big, powerful guy, and more weapons only reinforces that design on his robot mode. And I mean, you've got to admit, that looks pretty awesome, especially if you're a Roadbuster fan. And I apologize, I was adjusting the camera there, but this is fantastic. When I saw the Fans Project version of Roadbuster, which I don't have, by the way, but when I saw him, yeah, I thought that was going to be the best Roadbuster we got. I actually think this one's better, because I do have the Fans Project Roadbuster mold. In fact, here's a random one. I think this is the one that's called Recoiler or Rift Shot. It's one of the two, just to get an idea of the size difference between those two. He's a little bit shorter, just a little bit. So this is more, you know, Roadbuster sized, especially with the add-on parts that go on the actual Roadbuster version of this mold. But yeah, still solid size. In fact, here he is next to a Deluxe Class Seeker as well. Let's keep all three in the shot just so you can get an idea of the difference of size between all of them. So yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. He's a decent sized Voyager, and he's bulky all the way around. His legs are a bit hollow, and I'll get to that in a second, but I mean, size wise, he's pretty good. He goes up to his waist, but of course the Fans Project version of Roadbuster, the other version of this mold, is a bit more appropriately sized, I guess. But that's not to say that this is still a pretty good Roadbuster size-wise. I mean, obviously, as you can see here next to Thundercracker, yeah, he's definitely taller than a lot of Deluxes. So that part is important, especially because most of the figures we get now are Deluxes. Very rarely are there other Voyagers of main characters. As of late, we've been getting like what, Double Dealer and Whirl and Rhinox, and you've never really seen Roadbuster next to Rhinox. And Double Dealer's Double Dealer. I mean, he's a much more minor character. But meanwhile, in the main line, we'd be getting figures like, I don't know, Starscream, Trailbreaker, Hoist, all of them in the main Generations line of Deluxes. We have more coming out, so he definitely scales well with the majority of Generations figures. There are only a few that he's a bit off. But still, I would definitely like to see a larger version of him. And for articulation on this guy, his shoulders rotate 360. They're on a bit of ratchet joints in the shoulder, like they're very loose ratchet joints, but they're ratchet joints nonetheless. Ratchet joints in the shoulders as well. As you can see, they're pretty tight. So that's one thing I don't like on mine. Loose rotating, very stiff outward movement. Then he rotates in the upper arm, bends two places at the elbow. One's a ratchet, one's just a smooth swivel rotation thingy. Nothing in the hand. It's molded into the forearm, so sadly nothing in the hand. The head, however, can rotate 360 degrees very nicely. Look up and down. It's not a good ball joint. The legs can go out and in, forwards, backwards on ratchets. Rotate the upper leg, but just barely because of the molding. And it can also bend two places in the knee, though the upper knee joint on both sides is pretty tight, not as much on this side. This side is very tight on mine. Very tight. But I could probably fix that up a bit if I wanted to. And then lastly, here in the feet and ankles, swivel there and that way, and bend in the ankle as well. So you can get some really cool poses with this guy. But yeah, not too shabby if you ask me. And more so than in his vehicle mode, he has stickers. Some more stickers that were exposed are ones there, and then the ones there, and on the side of his leg, and then on the back of his legs, and then there, and there, and there, and on the back of the feet, down there, they're little ones, and then on the sides of the feet, and then on top of the toes. It took me a good 30 minutes to apply all of the stickers as well as I could. Oh, and then I forgot one right back there as well. Yeah, he has lots of stickers, lots of them. And while that's cool, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of stickers, but fortunately they were okay on this guy. They turned out fairly well. They could have been a lot worse, and I'm glad they weren't. And even though he's a bit lacking in the colors department and paint apps, the brown, green, and orange, it's definitely Roadbuster, and it looks good. The lack of really different colors here doesn't bother me a lot. I mean, he still has a bit of silver here and there, and a little bit on the chest, just to break it up enough. And it works. I think it works. This is one of the few times I will not complain about a lack of paint apps. But just to give you a better idea of the detailing in the few paint apps there are, let me get a close-up real quick. Alright, so here we have a bit more of a close-up on Roadbuster. You can see his head mold is pretty simple. It's got the green painted on visor, orange on the ears, and the rest is just brown. There on the chest you can see some of those stickers more. Red Autobot logo. Let's see if we'll focus on it. There we go. You can kind of see the stickers applied on there. But yeah, nothing too distracting. You know, it's a little bit of silver here and there on the shoulders, and as I mentioned earlier in the robot mode, not a whole lot of molded detailing. I mean, he's got some, but it's nothing outstanding. But I don't know, it's just something about this figure, despite all of that, he seems to just, you know, just works. It just works. Whatever he has going on for him, I'm glad he's got it going on for him, because I really do like this figure, especially because, I don't know, he's a wrecker, and I love wreckers. So now the question must be asked, should you pick this guy up? And my answer is a resounding yes. I love Roadbuster. Awesome character. Like I just said, I love the wreckers. He's probably one of my favorites among them. So definitely pick this guy up if you get the chance. He's worth it. Really cool figure. The only downsides are the stickers, in my opinion. The time it takes to put these stickers on, as well as having the painted on bits, like the brown on the green plastic, which, let me just get one last close up so you can see there. Let me just hold it right up. You can kind of see down inside it's green. It's because it's molded green plastic with the brown painted on. But that's pretty much the only two downsides here. The stickers, they look okay. It's just having to apply them all. I'd much rather just have them on already, or just, I don't know. That's personal preference. It's personal preference. But if you're okay with stickers, yeah, then there's only one downside, which is the painted on paint apps. But who knows? Maybe the Takara version will have that all fixed, and the plastic will either be molded or applied or the paint will be applied much better. Only time will tell. But for now, if you see this version of Roadbuster, do not hesitate to get him, because I highly doubt you will be disappointed. This is a very, very good figure. And as for this review, that is about it. So thank you for watching. This has been my review of Transformers Generations Voyager Class Roadbuster. And yeah, again, thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next review.